Hello and welcome to this introductory webinar realizing the context of the Child for Child project. In this webinar, we will introduce the training toolkit and training modules of the Child for Child project. We will also give you extra information about the activity made. All the information and contents of this webinar will be available online in our dedicated website at childforchild.eu. The Child for Child project and its activities have been developed by Cooperativa 3P Padre Pino Puglisi, in collaboration with Unione degli Assessorati alle Politiche Sociosanitarie e del Lavoro, University of Palermo, Association CONIL, Association Orari di Copi, and Sorangeli Trans. The project, the learning products, the activities, and this webinar have been funded by the European Union Programme REC, Right, Equality and Citizenship 2014-2020. With a view to support the reception center for children outside family, the Child for Child project provides practical tools and training materials for professionals in this field, aimed at helping young people to achieve autonomy in their adult life, the so-called caregivers. In the European scene, it is in fact increasingly relevant the phenomenon of caregivers, literally those who live the care, all those children removed from their family of origin who are protected and housed in hosting center financed by the state, until the 18th year of life, at most until the 21st year of life, and after they must leave the circuit of reception and live a life of autonomy. In this scenario, and developing this project, an attempt was made to understand what good practices at European level had been activated for the protection of those children, and an intense need analysis was carried out, including not only caregivers, but also children between 14 and 16 years old, those who work closely with the children, educators, social workers, psychologists, community leaders, and finally policymakers and representatives of the institution territorially competent. The training toolkit and training modules are the result of the need analysis carried out in Italy and Romania through the use of the following tools: the semi-structured interview administered to 4 distinct target groups, the focus group conducted with the 4 groups, a questionnaire to deepen the data that emerged. From the data that emerged, it's strongly evident the need of these young people to be listened to and supported in dedicated specific and structured space. Moreover, most of the institutions do not put in practice projects of autonomy, neither basic nor individualized, often offering just assistance. On the other hand, educators complain that they don't have a really defined role in this path of autonomy, and that they work on the emergency, not on the medium and long-term needs, and ask to be constantly trained to strengthen their skills. On the part of the institution, they are in lack of knowledge and networking, but also above all, a common method and procedure. The analysis of all these elements lead our research group to the definition of training modules, subject of the training session, entitled The Path of Autonomy of Caregivers and Children Outside the Family. The different training modules that will be introduced in this webinar have the aim to transfer to the educators different skills or updating of knowledge on the whole process of reception and management of children outside the family, considering the new methodologies applied in Europe. It is necessary to increase the knowledge of the phenomenon at different levels, social and institutional in particular, so that these children do not feel alone, and so that their needs, but also their wishes and hopes, are listened to. In this way, it is possible to work on new programs at time at the acquisition of a level of autonomy of the young person that will put him or her in the condition to be ready to leave the reception centers when the time comes. But to do this, it also requires intense network work that involves service, public and private institutions, and the involvement of the family of origin, where it can be a resource. It is important to take into account the fact that only projects of autonomy included in IAP since the entry of the child in the community can help the young person to work in the right direction of increasing self-awareness, sense of responsibility, resilience and empowerment. The key word becomes synergy between all the actors involved in this project. In addition, now more than ever it is necessary that evaluation and monitoring tools are included in the community work, so as to follow the progress of the activities that are being implemented, evaluate strengths, evaluate weakness, so as to have the clearest possible image of the work being done. The main objective of these training materials are: increase awareness of the phenomenon of children outside family, improve the management of out-of-family children in the community, increase the implementation of programs aimed at acquiring greater autonomy, provide data on the situation of communities hosting children outside family in Palermo and in Bucharest. The training modules are updated in the Child for Child education platform and will analyze the following topics.
The 8 training modules are freely downloadable in the website. The first training module, edited by the Guarantor of Childhood of Palermo, illustrates the general implementation measures of how to welcome and listen to the child in reception centers, with particular reference to the analysis of the path of autonomy of the caregivers and boy and girl outside the family, focusing on the legal aspects. The second training module, again edited by the Guarantor of Childhood of Palermo, analyzes the steps of reception and the path of the empowerment and independence of caregivers. The third training module is the explanation of the survey on best practice for caregivers and minors outside the family, the Child for Child research model, the objective, the tools and the result of the analysis of the data collected in this field. The fourth training module is about the national caregivers experimentation. It also analyzes the cultural assumption and articulation of the project by the Institute of Innocence of Florence. The fifth training module is about the organization of participation and networking construction for caregivers, again edited by the Institute of Innocence of Florence. The following training course is about the participatory construction of the project for autonomy, the concepts of autonomy and resilience. The seventh training materials is about tools for evaluation and monitoring of community activities, and also about the importance of qualitative evaluation within communities for minors. The last training module contains the guideline on the management of programs for the enhancement of life skills and emotional intelligence. These are useful tools for operators who work daily in the communities and in support of caregivers.
Thank you for following this webinar, and for more information please visit childforchild.eu. See you next time!